I'm at the old stomping grounds this morning to see if I could locate anything at all. I located that. I'll take that. It's broken, but I've got a cool blunt. I'll show it to you. I've made one pass down and one pass back. I ain't finding much, but this is a cool little blunt. Look, it's uniface right there. It's got a bit worked on it. Sorry. Uniface on this side and a bit worked on it. That's cool. Yeah, let's keep on looking, see what else we can scrounge up. I don't know how long I'll be here today. I may not stay very long. Pretty tired from yesterday. I'm just going to show you. This is one of 3 apparatuses that's right here that they're fixing to work on this tobacco patch with. Check out these hydraulic discs up in the air. Got double rows on 2 sides. And then look at this thing in the back. It's got all kinds of blades and whatnots on it. And there's another big apparatus over there just like it. But this is what they call, I think, a cultipacker right here. It's a wonder anything survives. This is pretty solid. But anyway, better get them out of the ground while we can. They've started disking this place here, and it's been rained on. I got it stopped on account of the rain. There could be rock hung in there. But anyway, I want to see what I can find here. I was going to give you an idea of what we're looking at as far as getting these salvaged or getting these rescued before it's too late. There's a little bit of everything going on. Plenty to break a rock, but I'm just shocked at how many actually survives. And all these has cutters that swivel. Look at a piece of stalk just wedged in there. Alright. Well, I walked up on that. I'm hoping it's blunted. This field is full of blunted pieces. Yeah, it is. I believe it is. But anyway, there it is. Such as it is. I'll keep looking. And that's a pretty good artifact for this field. Yappers. That'll work. I like it. It's a vast piece of ground. I mean, it goes just as far as the eye can see back in there. A lot to walk with that possibility. You can find them all over this. There's material scattered in a lot of areas. Well, I'm up on a ridge right here, and then just right down there you can see the ground. Maybe you can see how the ground just slopes off. Holler coming up through there. And I mean, I don't know of any water source that's in anywhere close to here except it being those hollers and heads of those hollers where maybe a spring. I know there's probably one across the fence row over there. But anyway, let's keep looking. I walked up on this. I believe it's tipped to an artifact. You can tell about the back end of it. It's just do it. Hey, it's got it back in. Heck yeah. I'll take that. A little tip neck, but I won't hold it against it. All in all, it'll display. This is it's an aggravating. I mean, it's just a leisurely type field close to home, and but it'll walk your guts out. And I've never walked at all. There's just little spots here and there, and there's a bunch over there that's never been cut yet. That whole thing over there, I don't know how many acres this thing is. And then way back in the back corner, I know you can't see it, but there's a rooftop over in there, and the other side of it, there's another big tobacco patch. And so I don't know how many acres it is, and all this belongs to the same people. But I could spend a lifetime right here walking it all, but it's scarce what you find. But I mean, that's why we do it, is to enjoy being on the outside, right? So this gets you outside, off the couch. Good exercise. It'll make you sweat, especially when the sun's out like it is right now. Let's keep on looking. Got another little something here. Going back the other way. And rough. Let's stay after them, see what else we can scrounge out. I'd be at those stomping grounds in the sidekick if it was in different condition, but I've stomped the ground flat as a board down there. I went to those stomping grounds yesterday and methodically went over what I think is the better part of the camp, which it's all good, but where I found probably the better pieces, and so I scanned it just real slow, methodically turning over every piece of flint I could find. I come out with 2 blunts and one little rough looking point, and several good looking tools though. But anyway, it's been walked by no telling how many people under one rainfall, which happened about 2 weeks ago, and nothing's been done to the ground, and so I thought I'd come over here while this was still wet and see if I could land a few, and I have. Glad to find them. But my preference is to be there if the ground's in halfway decent shape, and of course everybody else will be there too. But I could spend 2 hours there and find as much, 3 times probably as much there in 2 hours as I could here all day long. But I'll keep coming here because I got access to it, and I know there's artifacts here. And you never know when you're going to walk up on a killer, which it's not happened here yet. But I hunted the sidekick for heavily since 2013, and 10 years before that axe come to view. But anyway, persistence pays off, or stupidity, one or the other. I don't know which. My wife would call it the latter. But I'm still married to her. Later. Upped on the blunt, going back the other way. I've got 2 or 3 more blunts. This has always produced a lot of blunts, and this ain't where I normally hunt. Those tractors are, I think I recorded earlier, they're on the other side of the fence. You can see the cab of one right there. And that's usually where I find all the blunts and stuff and hunt more often than this over here. But they actually got this worked up this time, so I'm cabbaging on it. Let's keep looking. Here's what I found today. I'll go through these real quick. Nothing just over the top blunts. You got that on video. Still ain't sure about this one. Either way, it's been damaged, salvaged if it's salvaged. Some crudies. They'll keep though. Getting up there. Probably is damaged, but they were probably going to make a blunt out of it because they blunted everything. These people did. These ridge top dwellers. And that's what they were. I've hunted some of the lower lying areas in that big old field, and they were up on the ridge. Had a good lookout from there though. That would have been a nice point. The tip had been all there, but it looks old. It's well made for that particular field. Got a bunch of finds from there, but they're all usually just real rough and crude. Yeah, rough material, you can see that. It's a keeper though. Here's just a few things I found at the old stomping ground just I mentioned I found some tools. Here's a nice flake blade. Oddly enough, nearly all the tools are made of the same looking material. Just choppers and scrapers and do-withs. Here's a pretty nice piece of, I believe it's called Tyrone. You can see the cortex on that. It's just really, really rough. They were knocking hunks off of it though. Yeah, this was made into a chopper, but I believe it's nearly probably like a core. It's really pretty material. I like it. There's a rough point I was mentioning to you I found. It's just rough. Piece of material looks like they picked up, chipped up, and used up. And there's a blunt. And then this blunt's about one of the most unique ones I've ever found. You see it's unifaced looking right there, and they've worked this bit on both sides. It's unifaced on this side and that side. But check this out. It's double bitted. This one's only one side, or this one's both sides. It's a really cool piece right there. Useful little tool. Whatever they used it for, they've got their use out of it. Alright. We'll keep on after them. Later. I failed to show you this. I believe it's probably what they call a bearing block, where they put this on top of their spindle when they was fire starting. There's a divot on that side and a divot on this side, and there's even a divot on the end right here. Piece of sandstone, reddish in color.